Good morning. I would like to talk to you today about judgment. Judgment, judgment and waking up, okay? So waking up, there's a lot of talk about the Great Reset, about the Great Awakening. I am all the way in, right? have been my whole life involved in waking up. Consciously, intentionally, and working to help others around me. And so what I'm noticing now is there's great talk about, oh, I woke up. And this is not to diminish anyone. I want you to understand this. This is just to let you know that there are layers and layers and layers of what this means, waking up. And judgment is very part of the first layer often. We wake up to what's going around us, recognizing that we've been fed a lot of lies, that we received and accepted a lot of lies. That's my cat, Pearl. She's crying at the door because this is the magic room. Anyways, that's one level, right, of understanding that you've been deceived or that you've accepted deception. Okay, so that's happening. That's happening all around, right? And then there is waking up spiritually, which is a different thing, another layer. It involves a lot of work. So you've woken up, you've understood that things are not as you've been led to believe. And there's a lot of maybe anger or resentment or injustice or rage or sorrow that come out of that. And then you begin to choose. You choose to hold on to that rage and that judgment and that anger and that everything, right? The sorrow, the sadness, the bitterness. You can choose. It's like the layers of grief, right, that we have to process. When we begin to work with those judgments, judgment is when something becomes hard and fixed, and we become fixated on it. We become stuck. Something happened in the past. We judge that person. And we keep them there, never allowing anything to flow, to move, to expand, to grow. We keep it stuck and it dies on the root. It dies on the vine. So today I'm encouraging you to look at where you are stuck in the middle of whatever process you are going through waking up. We are waking up to the infinite ability we have, to our infinite selves, to our eternal, endless selves, to the one that we are, that we arise out of, the divine threads that we are. Your divine thread may be rock and gold lame. This morning I'm the divine thread wrapped in flannel and plaid. Judgment is painful, and it is also an illusion, and it's a prison cell that you keep yourself in. You blockade everything out there, everyone out there that looks like they might hurt you, wound you, or that they remind you of a past wounding, a past harm that you felt. However, I did a little short earlier. Our happiness is not dependent on anyone else. When we can drop our judgment and meet the moment, meet the person, meet the situation in a state of flow, of noticing. That's not saying that things are not, we live in a vibrational reality. So instead of looking at things as good, bad, yes, no, black, white, red, green, right? Like, I mean, we can see something for what it is, recognize it as a state of vibration versus putting some moralistic tone to it. As you work with these things more and more, inviting yourself into the conversation, because all of this is, in fact, an opportunity for you to fully awaken to yourself, to thyself, to the self, capital S. This right here, this is Andrea Mai. She is labeled as Andrea Mai. That is, she is a fractal of the ultimate. The fractal of the ultimate with a piece of hair sticking out. We can lighten up. We can really lighten up and be joyful and flow and stand in our own power. But to do that, you have to look at where you've been disempowered, where you've disempowered yourself. I want to be very clear. We disempower ourselves. Nobody disempowers us. That does not mean that we receive from the outside what we perceive as the outside. It doesn't mean that we always receive, when we stand in our power, the outcome that we would like to see. But what does happen is that we expand our view from being like harnessed, what do they call those things that horses wear, right? So where you can't see outside, what you do is when you awaken, your peripheral vision becomes all the way around. It's like an expansive bubble all the way around. And it expands more and more. And when you notice that you have a blind spot, you can start to consider how to adjust for that. So I'm going a lot of places this morning, but all of it comes back to there are layers of wakefulness, of waking up. Do yourself the greatest loving act, and don't stay in judgment. Don't stay hidden to yourself. Understand there's much more available to you. Feel your feelings, feel them all the way. Go through all the rage, go through all the sadness, go through that, oh shit, I knew this, and I've always doubted it. I thought I was nuts, right? Whatever that feeling is of finally understanding that things are not exactly as we've been sold. Also understand that we chose to limit ourselves to experience those things. And then move on. If you want to learn how to move on, the tool most helpful is to begin to sit with yourself with no stimulation, no distraction, sitting quietly with yourself until you see the patterns of your mind, until you understand exactly where you are blocked, exactly where you are stuck. And when you get into that moment of stuckness, when you see it, when you're fully aware of it, send some love into it and ask it questions. What does it want you to know? What does it want you to know? So with all of that, that's what I've got to offer you today. I hope you're beautiful. I'm going out for a beautiful walk with my dog, who has patiently waited over here on my meditation cushion. She's been patiently waiting. I said, let's go for a walk, and then I made her wait for an hour. So So she maybe had to do some unraveling of her own feelings over there. I can't tell you what's going through her mind exactly, but yeah. And with all of this, treat it so lightly. Treat it so lightly. Enjoy your day, and I will talk to you soon. I love you guys.